So I'm doing well, okay? Doing really well in sales. And I get a call from the president's office of the firm that I'm working in. He'd like to have lunch with you. And I was like, oh, okay, great. When? I was so nervous because this guy was, he worked for the top three financial planning firms. He's trained salespeople and vice presidents. It was kind of abrupt in his communications, and he would always be looking. When he was in the room, he would be taking everything in, watching and looking at everything, and then he'd draw a distinction that no one else drew and just would blow the room away, you know? So here I am going to lunch with him, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I wrote down all these questions so I wouldn't get nervous. So we had lunch and I really enjoyed it. I never got to ask any of my questions. He asked me a lot of questions, which is another trait of his, He really gets into everything. Nothing escapes him. And I really enjoyed our luncheons. Well, it was about the third luncheon that I'd been with him on. So we're like 3/4 into the year. And I've been trying to get into this CEO. And I've tried all kinds of things and it wasn't working. And I then had this out of the box idea. And I thought he's going to be so proud of me. It's something that, normally I wouldn't do to get in to see somebody. And we're chatting, and then I get my opportunity and I go, tell him about the CEO. I tell him all the things that I tried and nothing worked. And I said, what do you think about his assistant? And my plan was to take the secretary to lunch and develop a relationship with her. And like this. And I felt I can feel it, when you're excited. You're starting to learn to draw distinctions. A person's power is directly related to draw distinctions that other people don't draw. And boy, that was a big lesson because that's what he would do when he was surveying everything, seeing things in the background. And that was one of my biggest lessons in my career. And I'm so grateful that it occurred so early on in my career. And I wrote it down and put it on the mirror in my bathroom, and it stayed there for like a whole year. So it was part of me after that. A person's power is directly related to their ability to draw distinctions that others don't draw.